I bought this car, I never anticipated that I would be doing a night shift, working on it, getting it ready over 160 miles from home.
This is a prime example why blokes shouldn't be left alone on Facebook Marketplace.
There is filler in every single panel. Not forgetting the rust that's in this thing, because there's more rust than there is fresh metal. But the biggest problem with this car is we want to cut the whole front end off of it.
And I was relying on one place to turn my L into a W.
Sorry AutoWorks, because these guys are going to do the restoration on it for us. This evening's task is to get this panel completely paint stripped and get rid of all the crud that's on here. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a same scenario that we had with the bonnet, because it's going to be full of filler and not paint, which means inevitably it's going to be hard to actually strip it off. Now, if you watched our previous video, you'll know what the score is here. Now, the first thing we need to do is scuff up the panel so that the paint stripper can dig into it and remove as much paint as possible. But the first thing I've scored into there is subscribe. So if you aren't already, make sure you smash the subscribe button down below so you can keep on track with the build. So what we're going to do is we're just going to scuff this up, make a mess of it.
Unfortunately, it sounds like nails being dragged along the blackboard.
Best way to do this, other than scratch it up plenty, just to make the paint stripper really dig into it.
In a short space of time, we managed to get the rear quarter panel scuffed up, ready for the next step.
With the car all now keyed up, what we can do is get some of this paint stripper and slap it on there, and hopefully we can do this better than what we did before and get plenty on there before it starts to dry out, and then get a sheet on it. I could do this in a pot really, it's not the best way to do this.
The paint stripper isn't the final stage of prep because these will get sanded with an 80 grit on a DA, but it just helps speed up the process. If you're not very good at wrapping Christmas presents, you wouldn't be very good at the next bit.
Pull this out, and I need to cover the car because that will trap all the fumes inside.
This is proof that the methylene chloride has had a good chemical reaction and the paint is being lifted off the panel. But now it was time to scrape the residue off, revealing the areas of the quarter panel which had filler in, as they were much harder to scrape off. Half an hour later, this is what the final result looked like. Again, not pretty, but it will have a final sand with the DA at some point.
My Brasilia, since owning it, has given me many opportunities. Now the next one is an opportunity which I never really wanted, nor did I ever think it was ever going to happen. But I'm here, and it's happening. And because of that, it means that tonight I'm sleeping in my car.
I'm 320 miles from home. Getting here cost me about £60 in fuel every time. And if we're going to do this every other week, we need to try and minimise how much money we're spending. And my only solution for saving a little bit of money, getting as much done as possible, was to sleep in the car.
Yes, tonight I'm sleeping on an inflatable bed inside the Tiguan. Now, there's only one way this is going to go, and it's going to be absolutely lovely because I'm going to have a brilliant night's sleep. But let's stop fooling around and get this thing blown up. And for that, I've got myself a Milwaukee blower. And this is going to be my humble abode in a matter of seconds, hopefully, all being well. It's a long second. Hey. get this right. Help, it's not going right. Why not working? There we go.
After a little effort, it's home, but there's something missing. That's better.
Okay. That's bedtime, so see you in the morning. My feet are too big. Let's try that again. See you in the morning.
Little did I know how bad my night was going to be.
Someone send some help. We've got an emergency. There's no heat left in my body. Oh, what a night. That was absolutely awful. This decided to wake me up at midnight, setting off a big alarm. It was so cold at one point. When I first got into bed, I was really warm, and then after a little while, I was so cold to my bones, coupled with the fact that the bed decided to deflate, and I was now laying on a hard seat back.
I even ran Kaz in the middle of the night. All in all, the Tiguan isn't the best place to sleep on a blow-up bed.
All in all, I wouldn't recommend it. But let's crack on, get some orders done before we have to head back to Norfolk and make the most of our time here, which is why I had to ensure that awful night's sleep.
Alright, I know. Another panel with paint stripping. We've seen it many times before, we know what the score is now. But we need to get the rear quarter on the other side done. But before you know it, all the paint's been scraped off and we're finished with this result. Now it's on to sanding inside the engine bay, getting this thing finally ready for some primer. They've let me loose again with another noisy tool. This time it's a 3-inch pneumatic DA, and I'm just scuffing up the surface in the engine bay, getting it smooth. This is so we can put 1K epoxy primer on it, as you can see here. This is just going to protect the bare metal from rusting whilst it's in the workshop. And that was the finished result. Workshops are a really high risk area, and I wouldn't recommend that anybody camps inside of one. But if you're going to, just like we did, just make sure you know how to get out and know where your hazards are. But for us, it helped us stay a little longer and get some more work done on the Brasilia. See you in a week, little car.
But unfortunately, that is all we have got time for. So if you have enjoyed this video, smash that thumbs up button, smash the subscribe button down below, head over to Surrey Autoworks, head over to Auto Finesse, head over to Lowdown Transporters and even Dropworks Customs for similar automotive content. Thank you so much for watching, and we will catch you in the next installment. See you next one.